Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reselling Rhythms. I'm your host. I'm Adam, and my channel's name is Adam's Exploits. Predominantly, my channel is live streams where I interview other resellers. I try to provide various platform sellers, whether it be eBay, Amazon, Macquarie, Poshmark, etc. I've had jewelry sellers on. I've had big-time resellers on. I've had some of the smaller resellers on. Today we have someone that's been doing this approximately 7 to 8 months, but I don't want to, ruin this whole introduction. And he's a Canadian seller, but he also sells in the United States as well. So I thought that was interesting. Good guy. I watched him on his channel and through networking through the other channels. I told you guys I try to bring positive, good-hearted people, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be upbeat and positive and try to, live the life and get through this little struggle that I'm experiencing with my health. And Chris seems like a really good guy, and he's passionate, and he's got a lot of energy, which I really enjoy. So we're just going to let the chat fill on. I say hello to a few people, and we'll get started. I had prepared a few things because Chris had a previous engagement, but he's actually here on time. And he was going to be actually here early because he was going to be here like quarter after. So he is here in the green room, so we can get started shortly. So let me just say hello to a few people, and I know that Alexis was here early. And we had a little chat, and we have Craig the Landshard Pickers here. We have, who else? Anamora. Anamora likes when I say Anamora. We have Glenn the Swamp Picker. We have Michelle. Thanks for joining us, Michelle. I need your trivia knowledge, and I need a moderator. So I'm glad you're here because I was going to bring it up a little bit later. Some of my moderators have been AWOL. I guess life gets in the way sometimes. So anyway, so I'm glad you're here to moderate the chat because it's kind of difficult to do it from StreamYard. So I guess that's about it, guys, for now. So let me give you like 30 seconds. And like I said, we'll roll into it. I do have some things I was going to show you guys depending upon how the show flows. I told you guys I'm investing in my YouTube channel and investing in myself, basically. Eventually, I want to go out and do some blogging or vlogging, I guess technically it's called, and get some more camera equipment. Currently, I just use my iPhone. And hey, T. I use my iPhone and it gets hot. Right now it's in the case, but I mean, when I film, I take it out of the case, but it kind of overheats the battery because when it's on, I guess you guys notice when you're watching like video on YouTube and the battery gets kind of hot. Same thing happens when you're using it to video. So eventually I want to either get into an action cam, possibly the GoPro. I know the 8's coming out or is out, just recently came out. So the 7's available. I'm hoping maybe come Black Friday it'll be discounted. Or I might buy some kind of used mirrorless camera with a lens kit, get involved in that. So I have some kind of neat tripod vlogging equipment that I got. And I also have some jewelry, time permitting. I'll show you guys some of my things that I bought at auction. I see T is here. And I try to support the community by buying from the various auctions. I have something here that I bought from the MSP auction. Again, if you guys weren't aware of it, the MSP auction is actually shutting things down. Dwayne and Heather have decided that I think it's like 3 years now they've been doing it approximately. They decided enough is enough. So I believe there's like 7 shows left. They're going to end, I believe it's December 21st. I think it's like Saturday before Christmas will be their last MSP auction show. So again, I try to support the other sellers, the resellers. So I bought things at auction. So we'll definitely show you guys the video equipment I have, and time permitting, we'll get into some of the jewelry that I purchased. So we're right about the 5-minute mark now. So we're going to roll into the show. Hey, J-Dog, thanks for joining us, buddy. So we'll get into the show, and we'll have Chris introduce himself. So let me just get Mr. Chris up on the screen. And there he is. Why don't you introduce yourself, Mr. Chris?
How are you, Adam?
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Why don't you tell us tell us people about yourself.
Yeah, no problem. So how's everyone doing in the chat? My name is Chris. I go by the channel Thrift BCQ. I am located in Toronto, Canada, and I am a reseller who's for pretty much almost a bit more than half a year now. So I'm probably reaching about at the 8-month mark now for me. So this is my first Q4, so it's been pretty interesting so far. Yeah, right now it's just been a grind right now, but I work a part-time. I do this full part-time, but I have a full-time job as well. Usually, if I'm not doing reselling, if I'm doing some type of thrifting, I just enjoy going, spending time with family. Like, I have a daughter who's 4 years old now, so she's absolutely amazing. She's a little rambunctious, as you like to call it, but she's awesome, and it's just fun seeing her grow at the same time. So it's a great medium for me to be able to do reselling as a side income, just because I'll be able to be home for her when she does need me, and my wife needs help or something. So uh, yeah, it's just I've done so many other side hustles. Like I've done Instacart, I've done Uber Eats, and having the ability to be here has just been so convenient, and I love doing it. It's so awesome.
Now you're originally from the Toronto area. I know you're in Toronto now. Are you originally from the Toronto area?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Toronto, and it's so cold here right now, but
Yeah.
I'm sure
Well, it's cold everywhere in the Northeast. It's not too bad here. I think it's about 35 or 40 here right now. I'm right outside of Philadelphia. I'm in New Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia. So we have a little bit.
okay.
Of
So
cold now.
I think right now it's technically around
You're
the
Celsius.
20s. Then
Yeah, you're in Celsius. So yeah, right. You're actually minus something Celsius, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you've always been in Toronto. Did you go to school for anything? Any college or technical degrees?
So I graduated in college for hospitality management. So a
Okay.
lot of the jobs that I've been doing full time has generally been technology based with support or IT. So that's where I love learning and working with evolving technologies is something where I find so interesting, and just have a passion for as well. But I mean, I think back then it was actually I was doing a bit of massage as well.
Oh, really?
I also graduated as an RMT, and also I've
What's
been
that? That's an acronym for what? Something massage
a
therapist?
registered massage therapist.
Right, for massage therapist. I actually thought about doing that for a while when I was
Yes.
unemployed.
Yeah. So
And I guess it depends on
it's
does it depend on the economy, or I guess you run. So I think a lot of the people are independent, right? They're like subcontractors. They don't actually aren't really they're paid like on a subcontract fee. They're not actually employees of the establishments.
exactly. So for me specifically, it was a matter of trying to find clients for myself because I was in the business for myself at the time.
Okay.
But I grew out of doing it. I ended up getting more clients from my family, I'd say, just to have that convenience of having
Mhm.
someone that has the ability to massage them in such a short,
Well,
not a far distance.
I go to chiropractor every couple of weeks, and I thought, should I spend the money, go to a massage therapist? Because I mean, who knows whether I guess I could go to like a chiropractor's office, and they would probably charge me, arm and leg, because I'm sure it's not covered by my medical insurance, but they probably charge me an arm and a leg to get a massage. I thought maybe therapeutic massage might help, but who knows? So, what you said you work a full-time job as well?
Yeah, I do a full time job right now. I'm currently support analyst for like an automotive technology company.
Oh, cool.
So
So
I pretty
you
much
work from home
take
sometimes?
depending on the situation. I'm generally in an office.
Okay. So then you go up, and when you're out, I guess like you do typical what the full time people would do. You source on your way to work, from work, etc. I mean, if you might hit like a yard sale or something. I guess not obviously not this time of year; it's too cold up there. But you might hit a yard sale or something, or stop at a thrift shop, or stop after work at a thrift shop, and then you do your reselling on your home time, basically, when you're not taking care of your
Yeah,
4-year-old daughter or doing things around the house with your wife.
yeah, it's an absolute grind. I mean, on my lunches, I'm editing my videos,
Oh,
and
really?
then yeah, and then after work, I'll go every now and then to a thrift store just because it's a long way. It's probably about 5 minutes from my house,
Oh,
so
cool.
I'll tend to go there every now and then.
Now what was that? It wasn't the Savers. What it was I think it was part of Savers chain. What was the place you had mentioned recently?
Yeah, it's called the Value Village.
Value
So
Village. Aren't they affiliated with Savers somehow? I believe.
yes, they are. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because we don't have those
That's the
around here.
majority of the stores that are thrift stores here are either Salvation Army, Goodwill, or Value Village.
Okay, so you basically have the chains that we have here in the States and Northeast. Although we don't have like
Right.
the Value Village and the Savers. That's more of a regional kind of thing. We have the Goodwills, and we have a few Salvation Armies and basically independents. Goodwills around here have just been going nuts. The prices have been going off. They've been moving into newer facilities. It's like I'm watching them. They're moving into these big strip centers and these. See, because I guess you guys have probably experienced the same thing as we are with the retail crash. How the malls are basically going out of business. A lot of these retail shops are clothing in the malls. I mean, I just read an article this morning. There's like about a dozen different retailers that are in the process of reorganizing or closing additional stores. And the malls are basically closing. So it's weird that two of my Goodwills within a 15-minute drive of me have gone into bigger facilities and retail shopping centers. It's like, well, why don't you guys just don't lease your building or buy the land? I mean, you get your goods for free. Isn't it cheaper? I guess they don't want to be in the real estate business. I don't know, for whatever reason. There must be some kind of advantage to them to, I guess, paying a lease or rent as opposed to owning the real estate. I'm not. This is not really the conduit to discuss it, but a lot of the larger casinos actually are getting out of the real estate business because I mentioned before I go to the eBay Open, and the MGM properties are divesting themselves from real estate. They're leasing back the Mandalay Bay. They're doing the same thing with the MGM Grand, and they sold Circus Circus. Mm-hmm. So I guess they want to get out. I guess I don't know if they're anticipating some kind of real estate crash, but they're getting out of the real estate business, and they want to stay in the casino business, but they want to lease the property as opposed to owning the property. So again, I found it odd that Goodwill is moving into these new shopping centers, and I guess when you raise your prices, you can do that.
Yeah, that's insane.
So you're in the Toronto area, and you sell on both, predominantly on eBay, correct?
So probably about, I'd say 95% of my selling is on eBay.ca. I did a bit of .com for a bit, but just transitioned out of .com just because of some of the options that I have available to me now in terms of shipping. So I just transitioned a lot of my items now back to .ca. But I've been doing a lot of a bit of Poshmark now too. Okay. And just recently I got into Amazon as well.
Yeah, I saw that you did kind of like a teaser video where you're talking about Amazon, and you're in Toronto, your Jersey, and you're dancing around and flipping off the stuff, making it rain with the toner, and so you got
that's my editing. Yeah, it's so I just sent my first box probably almost 3 weeks ago now.
Oh, great.
And so I'm going to drop a new video of it probably today or tomorrow, just giving up on the Amazon. But I don't have that many items, but it's cool seeing sales that are coming from there too. Just because you have another set of eyes looking at your items now.
You broke up a little bit. Are you giving up, you said, on Amazon, or you're ramping up?
Oh, no, not at all. I sent my first box. I'm getting a couple sales now, but I'm still gonna keep going. Like I'm gonna drop a new video update of my Amazon stuff probably today or tomorrow. But it's been pretty cool so far, just because of the fact that the items that I had on eBay just weren't selling, and then now I have a new outlet to send on because just there were no one looking at those items, or there was just so much surplus of that item, but it's not in Amazon. So I ended up selling a bunch of those things on Amazon.
Now, did you commit to the professional account, or are you still doing like paying per item?
I'm paying per item right now. Okay. I'm so early to it.
It's $40 in the States. I'm assuming it's something similar in Canada.
I believe it's around $70 to $80 over here.
70 Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably what, like 50 American or something, US dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool. So you're finding some success with that. And are you selling your? Can you sell your toner? Or you can't sell expired ink on Amazon, correct?
No, I'm gated by that.
Okay,
But what I've been getting into more is just the used games, just because I sell a lot of
right.
video games. And then also what I've been getting into more now is DVDs. So
Oh, so you're not gated on DVDs in Canada?
no, not in die. So you're
Wow.
right off
I
the
mean,
bat. You're able to send media.
we discussed that in the States. Just about everyone is gated on DVDs or CDs. But in Canadian Amazon,
Yeah, I know that. Like, I guess.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, the Chris Freeze.
Sorry,
Oh, there you are.
yes. So it's something where I was surprised too, because I always see videos of people saying that they're gated doing
Right.
DVDs, but I just tried checking on my end on .ca, and luckily it's allowing me to do
Oh,
that.
great.
So
Great.
I've been trying to collect as many like season DVDs, and surprisingly, like concert DVDs as well. They seem to have a lot of value on Amazon. So I've been sending those now too.
Now, can you sell used or it has to be new?
You can send both used and new.
Okay, nice. So I'm sure there's plenty of that available through your thrift shop, right? Find plenty
Oh
of that
yeah,
in the market.
I mean it's still around $8 for like a season, like a box set, and then regular DVDs go for around $3 to $4. So I mean, I'm super picky with right now with Amazon, just because I want to make like a decent amount like on in my return after fees. So like usually I probably won't touch it unless I'm gonna get at least $10 after fees. So that's just my thing, at least.
Cool. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, it's why spend the money or and invest the time if you're not going to make a decent profit. So that's cool. That I mean, like I said, everyone's complaining that they're gated for DVDs and CDs in the States, but you can sell them in Canada. That's great. Now what happened with your DVD VCR combo that you purchased and you apparently I'm assuming that's going to be or will be your biggest flip ever.
It is. I just sold it yesterday.
You did sell it. Congratulations. Cool. How much did it go for?
Thanks. So like I had it on for about I had it for $4.99, and
Okay.
someone made an offer of it for $400.
Okay. And you took the offer
Yeah,
of
so
400.
I ended up taking it. Yeah, I
Cool.
mean it's.
And you had was $45.
I paid $45 for the thing, so
Right.
I really didn't want to get greedy with it.
Cool. So that was your biggest flip, I'm assuming, ever, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. So now again, I want to get into that a little bit. We get into like the differences between now you're saying you're doing 99% eBay CA. And I guess when you say ebay.com, I'm assuming that means USA, correct? You're doing like 1%
Correct. Yes.
in the USA. Now, do you have
Yep.
people? I mean, again, I rarely see it when I do searches, but you had people that are purchasing things from you from Canada to ship to the States. I know you do shipping to the States, but was that or that was when you were shipping through ebay.com and you were listing in the States and shipping to the States?
So from the from .com, I use the same shipping company I use with .ca.
Right.
So it's a company called Chats, and it's pretty neat to it gave me a US address in a sense too. So it allowed me to create the ebay.com account because you require a US address. You can't use a Canadian and you're signing for a .com account.
Oh, you can't use a Canadian address to sell on ebay.com. Is that correct?
Correct. Not for .com. Correct.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Okay, cool. So that's why I want to ask you the difference between eBay Canada and between eBay and the US. So okay, so you're using them as basically I wouldn't call it a freight forwarder, but I guess for all intents and purposes, that's what they are. You're taking the product to them, and then they're the agents of the company are actually taking it to the USPS post offices and then shipping it that way. Correct?
Exactly. So that's why right now with the way Canada Post, which is our primary post company, I mean it's just a monopoly. So pretty much even the lightest thing is just such a pain just to ship out because it's so expensive. And
Right.
so it's just having the ability to have other options available, especially in Canada, is just an absolute game changer. Just because now you'll be able to compete with, um, like I don't want to be like over competitive, but I mean it's just to be in the same line as like the U.S. sellers as well.
Okay.
It's just amazing.
Do you have access to type in the chat? Because you were breaking up when you mentioned that that shipper. Can you put that in the chat for our viewers that are Canadian sellers? They're not
Yeah,
aware of it.
absolutely.
Yeah, for some reason you're breaking up a little bit. I didn't hear what you said. I mean, I knew you said it. I just couldn't make heads or tails out of it.
Okay.
So see,
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, and
Chit chats.
there's
That's
also other
different.
companies
That's
as
a weird
well.
name for a shipper.
Yeah,
Now, have you done
but
research?
I mean,
Or that's just the one you found was convenient for you.
yeah, it's been the most convenient for me. There are other companies I know that do the same thing as well. One called Stallion Express, the other one is I think Freightcom, and they pretty much have the same concept. It's just in terms of locations. Chit Chats is the one that's more, I'd say, predominant around Canada.
They're the
They have
larger one.
several in
Okay.
different provinces, and
Okay.
it's definitely it's something where people were never aware of these drop locations for Chit Chat. So that's why I've been pretty much an advocate using that just because of how convenient they are.
Now, okay, so just again, I find this fascinating. I think some of my viewers might as well. Once you get into a little bit, how far away? Again, you're in the city of Toronto. Are you actually in the city proper, or you're in the suburbs?
I'm in the suburbs. It's
In the
a
suburbs.
suburb
Okay.
called Scarborough.
Okay. So how far is the Chit Chat? Where's the closest? Do they actually pick up in Canada and they bring it to the States, or do you have to actually go into the US to ship?
So they have a location probably about, I'd say, 10 minutes away from me.
Okay, in Toronto.
And then yeah, so there's also another one that I go to as well where I work. So that's been pretty convenient for me as well. Just so that when I do go to work, I can just drop off the items when I'm on
Right.
my way there.
Sure, like a lot of full timers do
And
that. They'll pack their items at night, and then they'll do a drop off on the way into work in the morning. They'll drop it off to the local post office or whatever. So you do the same thing with the Chit Chat. Why don't you just give us an example? I mean, again, you don't have to get into detailed nitty gritties. Why don't you give us an example to say? We just say, I mean, I don't know. You tell me everything is expensive in Canada. Pick something, I guess, like a 2-pound package if you want to discuss video game or something that you're kind of familiar with as far as the pricing for shipping and the savings that are involved.
yeah, absolutely. So, like as an example, it's a lot.
Okay.
The ability to send a T-shirt use Canada Post, let's say to California, will generally cost you around, I'd say, between $20 and $30.
Okay. And that's something that's under a pound, so it would be first class postage in the U.S.
Exactly. So because of a company like Chits, I can use first class shipping. So rather than paying $20 to $30, I can use the flat rate option in eBay and charge. I usually charge $8 Canadian,
So you
which is like,
use some
I don't
kind
know,
of priority
$5-6.
shipping. When you said flat rate, you'll use a priority shipping. Is that what you're talking about?
No, well, when you know how you can choose from
Oh, I'm
calculated
sorry.
shipping or
Fixed
flat
price,
rate?
not flat. Again, I'm getting confused. The terminology is flat rate shipping. So you have a fixed price shipping. You say so it's whatever $8, $10,
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah,
$12,
fixed price.
whatever per whomever buys it. Okay, you're confused
Yes.
because you have flat rate, you have priority rate. I'm thinking about USPS shipping. Well, you were saying you have like a fixed
Oh,
cost
okay.
for shipping. So let's just say it's $10 to make it easy. So it's $10 for
Yeah.
whomever buys it, whether it's going to California or it's going to Philadelphia or it's going to wherever. It's a flat rate through eBay, but it's really being shipped through your chit chat through the USPS. Correct?
Exactly. So
Okay.
I try to make sure that when I'm setting up an item, I have I have a calculator, a chit chats calculator, so it lets me know exactly when I do create a listing and set up the shipping. I always assume it's in California because that's where it's the most expensive.
Right.
So I set it up. I try to find out my address.
It's funny. I mentioned on this show, I always use 90210. You're quite a bit younger than I am, but when they had the
I do too.
Beverly Hills 90210, the TV show, so it's
Yeah.
embedded in my brain. So it's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm in Philadelphia basically for all intents and purposes. I'm in New Jersey, but Philadelphia. The ship cross country. I just punch in 90210, and I figure out how much would it cost me to ship this package to Hollywood, and that's what I figure out. That's my expense, and then I'll put that in my flat rate shipping. So it's the same price for shipping to everyone. Or if I include it in the shipping, free shipping, I'll know that if it costs me $6 to ship it to California, I know that I have to factor in that into my selling price at $6 because that's what it's costing me. And I remind people, especially new sellers, remember, guys, you're paying commissions and fees on your shipping as well. Because back in the day, before I even got involved in eBay, we're talking probably 10, 15 years ago, people used to scam eBay and put something out for like, $1.99 and charge like $40 shipping. Because they would only pay commission on the selling price, not on the shipping. So now eBay charges their fees on the total amount. And of course, you have your PayPal fee, which is your 2.9% plus your 30 cents per transaction. So again, when you guys factor in shipping, just remember, and I use 15% as a round number. I just factor in, okay, whatever my shipping is, I just add 15% to that, and I round it up a little bit because that's what it's going to cost me. My cost to me for shipping. So if I'm using a padded flat rate envelope through USPS and my cost with my discount is $7.55, I'll charge like $8.75 or $8.95 because I figure it's costing me about another $1 roughly in fees over that $7.55. So I'm at like $8.65, $8.75, and that's what I charge. Or I charge $9 for shipping to cover my costs. So that's something that people, especially newer sellers, have problems with. That's really, they can't get their head around shipping. That's to me and to most sellers, that's the hardest thing to learn when you're first starting out. Okay, so you say you've been doing this for about 8 months now, 7 months. So did you find shipping was kind of difficult, especially I guess being from Canada? You found it was really difficult, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that wasn't even factoring in the fact that we're using Canadian dollars too.
Right.
So I tried to price my shipping accordingly so that it's somewhat competitive still with someone paying in US dollars for the shipping. So it was so many things that I had to understand. Like I tried doing shipping too as well, and it was really much like a hassle for me, just having that amount because I was continuously getting offers, so it kind of messed up my whole thing with like the profit I was making basically. And so I ended up doing free shipping and just putting a fixed price for my shipping, just so that it's more easier for me to take care of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, like I said, that's most people. I mean, I still have problems with shipping to this day, and I've been doing this for over 3 years. I mean, if it's something that's large, I tell people all the time, I have a lot of clothing. I'm trying to get out of the women's jeans, which I have. 80% of my products are women's jeans, so I know it's basically, for all intents and purposes, the padded flat rate envelope priority shipping. So I know what it costs me to ship. And if I have something, I sell T-shirts like you do, so I know it's under £1. So I know it's roughly $5 ish. Now it's a little confusing because the USPS is charging zone shipping now, so it's based on distance and weight. Before it was just weight. Now it's weight plus distance. So if I'm
Right.
shipping something from the Philadelphia area to California or to Texas, it's going to cost me more than if I ship that to Virginia or to New York, because it's the distances involved too. So that's a little confusing. Not nearly as confusing as some of the other things. So if I'm shipping something heavy, that's where it really gets involved. And if I'm shipping something heavy and bulky, to me that's confusing, because then I talk to people about pirate ship, and then they have the cubic shipping. I've been trying for like the last 6 months to try to get somebody on from pirate ship or an expert on pirate ship to cover that, because that kind of confuses me, because I know Michelle, who's in my moderator in the chat, I know she uses pirate ship from time to time. And I always thought you had to do box in an envelope. But my understanding is that's not necessarily true. It's cubic shipping, and it's based on the size, and if you use cubic shipping. So I thought that was kind of like a caveat that you had to use the bag, but apparently it's not. You can ship it without the bag and just ship a box and use cubic shipping. I know it was like an 18-inch bag, 18 by 18 by 18, I guess it was the largest poly bag that you could use, and you had to just have that the box fit into that. But again, people are telling me that you use pirate ship cubic shipping, you don't necessarily have to use the bag. So to me, that's kind of confusing. But again, my understanding is that's for smaller items that are heavy. I don't know how people like Amazon do it when they ship you out something. It's this big, huge box that should, you fit on my screen, like 2.5 feet by 1 foot, and they ship you something that's like $14. It's like, and I get free shipping. It's like, how the heck did they? I mean, I realize they're Amazon, but how the heck did they make any profit by doing that? I don't understand it. And if something's heavy, that's even more so. So I know they typically ship it through UPS when they do that, or they ship it, FedEx ground or UPS ground. But it's definitely confusing. So it's 18 by 18, Michelle. So is that a half a cubic foot? Is that the largest it could be? One of these days, we're trying to. By the way, Alexis, we're trying to get Michelle a good webcam too, so she can come on. She came on just voice once, and she was a wealth of information. And we all know Michelle is extremely knowledgeable, so we want to have her come on a video next time as well. So again, to me, I'm sure to a lot of newer sellers, shipping is very confusing. So again, your niche is typically toys and video games. I know you do like one-offs of everything, but that's kind of where your expertise is, I would say.
Yeah. So a lot of the things, I guess, previously to grabbing that huge haul of ink that I have, it's mainly different types of toys, and I had a lot of video games too. Like I was a big Nintendo guy. So I loved collecting different Nintendo like artifacts or like different games, like mainly the first party games, like not Mario or Pokemon. Those were the ones that sell well for me, just because they're I just based on to what's been selling. Those are the ones generally that sell for you. The buy through rate on those is amazing.
Now, is that like clothing where it's cyclical, and the popularity of sell through rates can change with video games, or pretty much video games, if something's a hot seller, it's always a hot seller? Is that how it works with video games?
Yeah. So specifically with Mario and Pokemon, those are ones that are pretty steady.
Okay.
I'd say depending on like if let's say there's a new release of another game, generally I would say, or that previous game before that is a time where it would generally be a bit more popular, just because there is going to be a new version of it in the near future.
Now, what about the various platforms?
But
I mean,
it's also too absolutely. So a lot of the time where I like collect games, Nintendo specifically is the one I'd say is the more sought after, just because the cartridges are far more expensive than getting a disc game, and like, people can copy it, and it's a lot more accessible, and it is a lot more cheaper to make compared to cartridge. Back then, when you bought a Nintendo 64 game, they were always over like $100 at the time, and that was a lot. That was probably 15 years ago, probably.
So the early 2000s, they were over $100 per game.
Yeah, they were fairly expensive, and that's why you see those types of games. They still go for a decent amount of money, um, especially like a Zelda or what else, like a Smash Brothers. Those are all like really known games that are still popular until today, like even for that older system.
Okay. And then as far as like the other platforms, like I mean, I bought stuff in auction. I told you earlier, I mentioned about it. I have tried to support the other sellers, and I bought some Wii stuff. I know nothing about games. Oh, that seems like a reasonable price. And then I ended up buying the stupid the Wii what do they call this, the Wii Fit, and it's super heavy as shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm thinking,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it is
sell this
super
locally. I'm thinking, sell this with the games and the console probably locally, because this, I mean, just lifting this up, it's got to be over 10 pounds. I would think.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely really heavy. I tried shipping one of those, and it cost me about I think it was around $40 to ship out.
Wow. So that was the mistake I made. I mean,
in Canada.
I bought it from somebody that was a video game guy, and it was part of the community. And it's like, I didn't know. I'm trying to support the guy and buy stuff from. It's like, oh well, that got some video games, and I know Wii, and I know this and the other, and you know, maybe come January, people are trying to lose weight, and I'll be able to sell this. So like, I got this. Like, well, that was a mistake. so I'm probably going to try to sell it locally. You know, sell that with the console and the games that are related to that locally.
Right.
Because that way I don't have to pay to ship this stupid box. But I mean, if somebody's looking to do some kind of exercise, you know, routine at home, hopefully I can just, you know, I don't have to worry about the shipping for this. I can just price this out plus the games plus the console and come up with a, you know, decent price. At least I can break even. Because I think if I had to ship this, I would definitely lose money. You can part it out the week. Yeah, you can part it out, but I didn't know if it was worth even selling it at just the Wii Fit board. Fish and Pig, don't you think it would be better if I kind of sell it as a unit or as a bundle or no?
To be honest, I think I've sold about 3 Wii Fits so far, and I've had the most success selling them as a bundle with the game. So I had actually another game as well, like a Wii Fit Plus, that I found at a Value Village for $2-3. So I include that into the board, like that board as well as the other game, and generally you tend to make a lot more. And generally people will try to get
plus the board plus like 3 or 4. I think I had like 3 or 4 games. Some as a bundle that way.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I have to say hello to my friend Miss Tiffany is in the house. Hello, Tiffany. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Hey,
Chris?
Tiffany.
You were just saying hi. Okay.
Oh no, just because I would think that there are people that are looking for this Wii Fit. They're trying to get as much value as they can because they know they're going to be paying a pretty penny for shipping.
Right.
So they might as well grab a bunch of games with it to go along with something like I know there's other exercise video games out there that require the Wii Fit board as well.
Right.
So
well, this was kind of like, because that's what happened. And again, I tell people I'm not really ancient, but I guess I'm considered classic. You know, when they talk about antiques and you know whether it's classic or you can sell it or not on the various platforms, or you have to be a certain age. But I'm so old that I had the original Atari. I had the one with Pong and Missile Invader. That's how old I am. I never, you know, so I don't. That was the original one. So I mean, I had the cable back in the day when cable came. When we had back in the day, we had the little antennas with the rabbit ears, and then I had when we had cable come out, we actually had the cable box with a real long cord, and you push the buttons, and there were like 3 different bands. So you click the thing back, and then push the buttons. I mean, that was my cable back in the day. So I mean, we're talking. Wow. I don't even know when that happened. I don't know. Was that the I don't know, mid 70s maybe? I don't know. I guess when I played video games, I had to be early to mid 70s when I played the Atari. So yeah, that's so I don't really know.
I keep a lot of my older systems just for nostalgia. I like keeping whatever system I had. Pretty much the Nintendo ones are the ones I kept. I had a PS4 and an Xbox, but I ended up selling those for some reason. It's just because I don't know. I was just so drawn to Nintendo. I love how it's a family system, mainly for other people to play with. That's what I love doing with playing. I wasn't a big hardcore graphics gamer or anything like that.
See, I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really a video game person, but I do want to be able to take advantage of them when I see them in the thrift stores, or I see them in the, obviously yard sales or whatever. So I need to learn more about it. And I'm sure I have a bookmark. I have a reselling bookmark the top of my screen, my Chrome bookmarks. Is there any particular website? I know there's one or two out there that typically resellers use for video game values. Obviously you scan it with Amazon, or you scan it with your, Amazon seller or your eBay seller. But is there any kind of website that you typically would use as far as value of video games?
I mean, for me, it's been mainly experience and just understanding.
See, I'm not experienced, so I know there's one or two websites that you can go to, and it'll tell you the prices for what they're reselling for.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I haven't been though. Like me specifically, I don't use any other sites other than.
And then you scan things.
Yeah, that's mainly. But I just know for a fact there are certain games that I know that can bring a great return regardless. So like as soon as I see that specific genre, like a Mario or a Pokemon, I just grab them because I know they're gonna sell quickly, and they always sell regardless.
Right. I'm assuming that's right in the chat. Nashville Flippers, he's saying Pokemon drops Friday and the new Disney Plus dropped. I may not get a video out on Sunday. Yeah, I know people are talking about the new Disney Channel. People are going crazy.
Oh my god!
I mean,
I was using it yesterday.
My friends post on their Facebook pages. Oh, they're all excited. It's like, okay, whatever. Disney, okay. But people love Disney.
I think one of the key things with that Disney Plus is there, like a lot of people that have nostalgia with the older movies and the older shows. A lot of that is in the Disney Plus. So for me, I liked watching the old X-Men shows back when it was on Fox.
Oh, was that on Disney Plus?
So I watched almost like the first 2 seasons last night, and then I watched the Mighty Ducks as well. That was like one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Well, you have a 4-year-old, so it would probably make sense for you.
Oh no, well she was asleep already.
Of course, I thought I was going to sneeze, and I don't sneeze. If I didn't mute myself, I would have sneezed.
Yeah, I was ready to say bless you, but it's okay.
So yes, I mean that's again, and then I know the I don't know if it's come out recently or it's coming out before Christmas. Frozen 2 is coming out, so I know I'm seeing a lot of Frozen and Frozen 2 toys at the various retailers. So I'm assuming that's going to be one of the hot toys for Q4. Anything related to Frozen or Frozen 2.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more now in the Disney stores, as well as I think Walmart. I saw a whole bunch too, but yeah, they're already up there in price too. I don't honestly don't know how they're going to do because there's a lot more toys than this now.
I don't think there's much. Again, I'm not do much RA. I know Tiffy's in the chat. She does quite a bit of RA, but I don't know if there's much of a margin. I guess you could try to buy them and I don't know, something's really hot and buy it when you can, and then hope that Amazon sells out of it, and then you can merchant fulfill it. Again, I'm not an Amazon seller. I mean, I have an Amazon account per se, but I've never shipped anything into Amazon, so I don't know if there's opportunities there or not. But I did want to talk to you because I know that you do well with your video games and also toys. Now, what kind of toys do you typically buy? Just things that when you were a kid growing up that you're familiar with?
Yeah, so a lot of the things that I've been picking up lately was wrestling related.
I
watched a lot of wrestling when I was a kid. So I picked up this huge haul from one of my family members that was looking to get rid of their wrestling figures back from, I believe it was the 80s. And these are just big rubber wrestlers. They don't do anything, but they are worth a pretty penny. It's amazing to see how popular and how valuable they actually are.
Right.
And
now, when you were young, was WCW, I guess? Or was it
for me, it was WWE or WWF at the time.
WWF, you were too old, not too old, too young for WWF. I didn't realize WWF was available that long. I was a WWF person back in the day, but I'm going back to like, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. I guess it was even WWF back then. Andre the Giant and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Jimmy had a lot of problems, but he actually lived in this area, like maybe 20 miles from here. He
no way.
Issues. Yeah. Yeah, he had some.
Yeah, no, I started watching when issues. I was I think the time I really got into wrestling more was when WrestleMania came to the Skydome in Toronto.
Right.
It was Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior. That was the one thing that got me hooked, and I just never stopped. I just kept watching as soon as that one happened, that one event.
Okay, so we talked about that. So when you say toys, you gravitate towards wrestling things, figurines, and different things, because that's what you're familiar with, and I guess toys that you're familiar with from your youth. But I guess like anything else, if you see something in decent condition, or old stock, new in box in the thrift store, you just do a search, right? You just look it up and see if it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So I sell a lot of my best sellers, like besides the wrestling, in Mega Block toys. Mega Blocks I've been finding a lot of models that are like not open, all sealed. They're always at thrift stores, and they have the best return for me. They usually like go for about $5 at the thrift store, but then they're actually like $60-$70 over on eBay. So
again,
they tend to sell pretty well.
Mega Blocks, I guess, came out after I was a child. Is that kind of like Legos?
Yeah.
Is that somewhere?
It is, yeah. It's another type of, just like Playmobil. That's another type of.
And when I was growing up, it was Lincoln Logs and Legos. It's like they were the two biggies.
And then we also had girder and panel as well. That was another building type of, I guess, toy that we had, and those are pretty popular too because I had one just earlier. I think last month. I got it for $5 and it sold for, I think it was $70.
Whoa!
And
what kind of toy is that?
Sorry, can you say that again?
What kind of toy is it? I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay. So it's like kind of like building structures. So it's I think it was a restaurant.
Like an erector set. Okay, that's Paul was saying. It's like an erector set.
Yeah.
Okay, well he knows I'm older.
Yeah, it was kind of like.
He figured I would know erector set. So.
Oh no, I've heard of erector sets. This one was mainly like plastic pieces. It wasn't nothing metal or anything.
Okay, so it's like kind of a plastic version of an erector set.
Yeah.
Cool. So what other toys would you say to the Bolo be on the lookout for? I mean, as far as your experience in reselling and your familiarity with the toys. Anything else that comes to mind?
So I'm just thinking off the top of my head here of the items that I sold, but like the wrestlers have been doing pretty well too. They've been steadily selling, but also I find anything like usually Pokemon related as well. That's been doing well for me too. So like Pokemon plush dolls, as well as they have Mega Blocks Pokemon as well, and those usually sell quite quickly. Anytime you can find anything Pokemon related is pretty much money in the bank.
She loves Playmobil. Again, I don't know any of the stuff. Again, it's all after I was a child. So I guess I should start researching and try to find the channels that talk about reselling. I mean, obviously I watch your channel, but maybe that's an opportunity for you to do more videos on reselling toys and the things that you're familiar with. Maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just also I'm learning too at the same time. Like I didn't realize like Monster High dolls were fairly decent sellers as well. I sell probably about 3 or 4 a month because I find them all the time at thrift stores.
Okay.
They usually have 3 packs for like $5, and I can get all 3 of them usually sold for about $20-$25.
5 times your money. That's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm just trying to see if there's anything I missed on my notes. We're pushing about an hour here, and I did want to show you guys something real quick on my end. The only other thing I have on here is again, we discussed the differences, and you're doing 99% eBay CA. You discussed the company that does the I don't call it drop shipping, but the carrier, I guess we'll call it carrier shipping. And so again, you're a relatively new seller, like 6 to 7 months. Any tips or lessons learned as a newer seller that we have? If I have newer sellers, maybe things that you found were difficult and that you've learned, and maybe make it easier for newer sellers. I mean, again, I'm kind of putting the spot, but again, I'm just curious if there's anything that you would suggest, or any kind of websites or apps or things that you found helpful to you as a newer seller. I mean, obviously, we mentioned the freight carrier. That was a great tip.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, for Canada specifically, I mean, obviously have the app, the eBay app. That's the best thing to have.
Right.
But also, there are items I use as well, other than, because the thing is with thrift stores, I mean, you can only get so much at thrift stores, right? So I would say try to have other options available to you when finding inventory. Like, for example, we have one called Virage Sale. It's a local app
That's a
as
local
well
app
that we have.
And you got your the combo. You got that on OfferUp, correct?
I got it at Let Go.
I Let Go. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, my understanding is from talking to other resellers that various local apps work differently in different areas of the country. I mean, Let Go might be popular in Toronto, or OfferUp might be popular in Buffalo, or Facebook Marketplace might be popular in the Philadelphia, South Jersey area. It depends on the area. Although I'm assuming, again, what they say when you assume. I won't get into that, but the Facebook Marketplace is kind of popular everywhere. But again, the local apps, it depends. I'm assuming on the areas. Certain apps work better in certain areas than others. Which ones do you find relatively useful in the Toronto area?
So Virage Sale and Let Go have been pretty much like a good one for me in terms of getting decently priced items that people are trying to sell. On Facebook Marketplace, it's been pretty, I'd say it's very seller heavy, where I know people that are just make a profit off them. So like I try to stay clear usually of Facebook Marketplace, unless like you'll find that one deal every now and then. Like, for example, I just found one yesterday. Some guy was selling three graphing calculators, the TI-84, and they were selling them for $30 for all three of them.
For all three, and they weren't for parts. They were working.
No, they were all working. Yeah.
Wow. And were you able to get them, or had already sold them?
Sorry, say that again.
Were you able to purchase them, or had you already sold those?
Oh, I'm meeting up with the guy probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes. So again, those were. I just look for those specific items that I know that sell well, and I just keep an eye on it every day to see if there's new items of that type of thing that I'm looking for. And as soon as I find some sort of deal, I'll message them right away.
Do you set up any kind of alerts or anything with those various sites, or do you use Google? How do you set up? Do you do alerts at all? So
the alerts that you get are based by based by genre, not by exact item.
Oh, okay.
So like, I get notified for every new electronic that comes out, or for every 10 new electronic items that get released.
It's not item specific.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can do like an item specific search in Google. Like if I'm looking, I told you guys earlier, I'm looking possibly to purchase a GoPro Hero 7 Black. So I have a search for Google, and it gives me a daily update. And then I'd purchased Bose the wireless earbuds. I had an alert for that, so I had that coming through daily.
Mm-hmm.
So it's categories, not item specific with the alerts.
Yeah,
that's exactly. Something cool. Again, I'm giving you plenty of ideas here, Chris. You could maybe do a video on that for resellers. So
yeah, no, that's a great idea. And I also use another website as well. That it's kind of like Craigslist, but I mean, Craigslist is not very predominant anymore here in Canada.
Right.
There's a site Kijiji.
What is it again?
That's another site that we generally use in Canada.
Could you type that in?
Pardon? Yeah, absolutely. It's a little it's a weird name.
It's weird. So I didn't want to guess at it. So I didn't know. I don't know if that's available in the States or not, but it's something to look into.
No, that's specifically in Canada.
Okay.
That site.
Okay, there's typically about a 30-second delay with StreamYard, so it'll be popping up in the chat. Well, while that's coming up, let me show you guys.
See it there shortly.
Show you guys real fast. I told you I was trying to improve my YouTube and my vlogging. So
Nice.
so I'll show you guys real fast. This I got involved in. Where is the box? What do I do with the box? Here it is. I got involved on a Kickstarter on this. Let me just highlight myself. Go here and get off the banner. How do I get the banner? Which Tiffany banner? All right. Let's see. That's the only problem with these banners. You got to figure out where they were. All right. I'm just going to leave it for now because I don't see where it was. Let me see. Comments. We'll just leave it because I got to scroll through. It'll take me 5 minutes to find it. So anyway, guys, this is called the Switch Pod. Try to show you guys what this is. This is a vlogging device. So it's handheld and it also converts to a tripod. So a lot of people are using if you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll see some of the vloggers use these big, huge Gorilla Pods. Well, this is the next level. This is the back of it. This is actually one of the creators on the video on the picture here with his son. Pat Ryan is one of the creators, and his Caleb is the other developer. And I was involved in the Kickstarter. So just show you guys real fast. Like I said, we're pushing an hour. But again, I tell you guys, I'm trying to invest in my business. So I'm going to start having some affiliate links in my descriptions below. So again, I'm not qualified to earn AdSense because I don't have enough watch hours. I have over 1,000 subscribers, but I don't have the 4,000 watch hours yet. And AdSense is really pittance when it comes to it. So I'm going to start putting some affiliate links. They don't cost you guys anything extra. So if you were to purchase something from one of my links, I get a small commission. So I'm going to start posting them. But I do want to show you guys I am investing in my channel. So this is actually the Switch Pod. And then what happens is, and it's magnetic because there's something stuck to it. But basically, there's a way to do this, and it just kind of flips open, and you can use it as a tripod, or you can flip it back together, and then you can hold it out. And then I purchased just from doing some research. I got an adapter for this. So what this does, it allows you to it's called a ball head. So it allows you to change the angle of things. So then I have that, and then I have my cell phone adapter. Like I told you guys, eventually I'm probably going to get a GoPro or maybe get some kind of mirrorless camera. So you're going to put adapters on that. So basically what that does, that mounts onto this. And of course I did it wrong, but it does mount onto this. I did it backwards. That's why it goes the other way. This goes on here the other way like this. I was wondering why that was so long. And this mounts on here.
That's really cool.
Yeah, isn't it neat? They're not cheap. They're about $100. And again, I think this was like 15. And then, I mean, everyone pretty much has these. You can put them on a selfie stick or something. And then it's the quarter inch thread, which most devices now are quarter inch thread. So then you would put your cell phone adapter on that, like such. And then this adapts. You can change it as such. And then you just stick you're supposed to take your phone out of the case, but you would put that in there as such. And then I don't know if you can see it very well, but then I could, do my selfies, or I could be filming people, if I'm vlogging. And what's nice, and then there's a trick to it, how you release it. You can release it with one hand. I don't know how to do it, but basically you have this locked and then it kind of releases, and then you can use it as a tripod as well. So this is called the Switch Pod. I don't have an affiliate link for that, but just want to show you guys I am investing in the business and in the YouTube, and I will have some affiliate links. If you guys want to help the channel, you can help me out that way. It doesn't cost you anything additional. So just want to show you guys I am investing in the business. So let me get back to showing both of us, and we'll do that. Okay. So that's pretty cool, isn't it, Chris? Are you frozen? Whoop.
No.
There you are.
I'm here.
Okay. You weren't moving. It was kind of cloudy. I thought, oh, what did we lose them? So that's the gist of it, guys. I just want to show you guys something. I thought it was really neat. And they are available now. They got the first shipment in. They shipped it out to the people that are involved in the Kickstarter, but now it's available for regular purchase. So again, if you guys are serious vloggers and you don't want to get involved in that Gorilla Pod, you know, how you kind of bend it around things, and this actually has the finger grips as well, and you can grab it up here, or you can grab it with both hands, you know, like this. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
okay, I'll break that down after the show. So that's all we got, guys. It's like what to say. I like the gimbal. I have a gimbal too, Paul. I do have a gimbal. That's kind of a pain in the rear end. I do have a gimbal, and there's a long learning curve to that. I used that. I got the smooth version. I mean, there's a million of them out there. And that was about $150 I spent for that. And the problem is the battery goes dead, and then I have to buy all these accessories, the portable batteries to plug it into it. In fact, I did bring my gimbal both years I went to the eBay Open, but I'm thinking about maybe just bringing this next year. And we'll get into that at some other shows, but I'm considering possibly staying off site. I don't know if they're going to have it back at the Mandalay Bay again. I'm assuming they are. But basically what happened was Mandalay Bay must have raised eBay's prices, because when they had it 2 years ago, that was after the catastrophe. They had the shooting. So they were looking for people to book conventions, I guess. So they probably gave them like a really good deal. So what happened was when eBay did it again this past year, they eliminated a day and they cut back on a lot of the things they were doing. It used to be an off-site big, huge party. They made it at the House of Blues on site. So they really cut back quite a bit. So, and I go there mainly for vacation and to network, to learn from other resellers, and to learn about YouTube as well. A lot of big resellers. I was on with Steve Rake and Profit. I was on his channel. He did an interview with me, and I had Casey the Rockstar Flipper on with me. We did some videos from there, so that was pretty cool. So anyway, guys, we're over an hour. I want to keep you more than an hour, but I appreciate you all being here. And again, if you're watching the replay and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and click on the notification bell so you get notified when I go live or when I do other channels, other videos, I should say. And again, I want to thank Chris for being here. Chris, any parting words for you, my friend?
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, Adam. It was an awesome time, and I appreciate you letting me share like that information with like shipping specifically for people in Canada, because it's not something that's out there enough, and we need that to be out there, so we can compete and just help improve our sales.
Well, that's why I want to have you on, because you were Canadian seller, and I've never had a Canadian seller on. And again, I forgot to mention, Chris does have a YouTube channel. Obviously, I think I mentioned that, but his YouTube link is in my description below, and also I put his Instagram link in the description below as well. So make sure you subscribe to Chris, and if you want to follow him on Instagram, you can do that as well. Again, the description, the video links are both on the description below. Okay, guys, appreciate you all being here. And again, if you're watching the replay, don't forget to subscribe. And we shall see you next time. Thanks again, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.